Hi, I'm Mark Maringer here with Darrell Watson in City Council District 8, candidate for City Council. Wanted to sit down with him and have an interview. Thanks for joining us with ColoradoConfidential.com. Appreciate it. And so I'll just sort of start off with the first question. Why don't you just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are and why you're running for City Council.
Okay, my name is Darrell Watson. I'm the youngest of 7 kids from a single mom, and so I come from a working family, and those beliefs and foundations that build my family are things that pushed me to run for City Council. I believe that working families in Denver, a lot of them don't have the opportunity to live in Denver. Mm-hmm. They work and then they go to another city or another county and they drive into work every day. I think having someone in City Council that understands working families, that will fight for working families, and that is a platform I'm running on. I work at TIAA-CREF as a manager for their wealth management group, and we do investments for teachers, for nonprofits, for research and development, and that's the type of work that I do on a daily basis.
Okay. And how long have you lived in Denver? Did you grow up here? Or?
I'm from the Virgin Islands, so I moved here in 1987 to attend CU.
You moved away from the Virgin Islands?
I moved away from the Virgin Islands. That's strange. Yeah. It's funny. Most of the kids back home, when it's time to go to college, we moved to what we moved to the continent. Uh-huh. So we moved to the U.S. and to study, and I wanted to study political science, communications. Back home, our university is specific to like marine biology and stuff like that because we're on an island. So CU heavily sent me stuff and asked me to, were recruiting me, and I decided to come on over. Fell in love with the mountains, fell in love with the climate, and decided to stick around.
Okay, great. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the district? What are the areas included? What are the neighborhoods? And, what's up with the district?
District 8 is I would say, the most diverse district. I'm sure every candidate has said that. But the boundaries are 40th to the north, Colfax to the south. We're west to Spear, or really to the Denver Center Performing Arts Complex. All of those complexes there, east to Holly. And as for downtown, we have our northernmost point is Larimer, and southernmost point is Tremont. So we have like 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th. And so forth of downtown.
Okay.
So it's pretty expansive.
Yeah. So what do you see as the top issues facing District 8 then?
I think a top issue is making sure that working people can work and live in Denver and work and live in District 8. Affordable housing is enormously important in transportation, but all of those things are wrapped around ensuring that working families have the ability to stay and to live and to work in District 8. When it comes to transportation, making sure that we have a full plan for transportation, not just a trolley system to 30th and Downing, but we have a plan for circulators going through 18th and 19th, circulators going through Curtis Park, either going down York or going up Colfax. Having a regional as well as a local transportation plan, and that's something RTD doesn't have, a local plan for the trolley system that they're recommending for like the Walton Street corridor. So it's important.
Right. Now, I mean, that's sort of like you said, it's sort of an RTD doesn't have a plan for that. What can the City Council, or what can you as a City Council person do about that, considering kind of a lot of that seems to fall under RTDs?
We can make sure they have a plan. I mean, that's what part of City Council is, leadership. And if there is an issue, whether it's education or whether it's transportation, they may not come under the legislative umbrella of City Council, but a leader listens to the community and identifies what the community wants and goes forward with leadership. Okay. For example, with RTD, what a City Council person can do is bring the communities, the neighborhoods that surround the Walton Street corridor, and ensure that their voices are heard within the RTD board meetings, within the EIS environmental impact study pieces, to make sure those communities are involved in that process. And that's what City Council can do to shape that message. The same with education. We can shape the discussion, ensuring that our school board members understand that the City Council member is going to be intimately involved in this process as a collaborator, but also as a leader of the communities that are affected by the schools within our district.
Yeah, that was actually going to be one of my other questions is when it comes to education, I mean, what do you see? That's one issue that I think a lot of people in Denver have sort of voiced concern about. What's your plan, or what do you feel like you would do to address education in Denver? as a city council member?
We can do some basic things and some very simple things. The first thing is 1A passed last November that provides preschool funding.
Right.
Lisa Roy, who is one of the principal writers of that, and she works for the Peton Foundation, is one of my, she advises my campaign on education issues. One of the things I believe is that City Council can ensure that those 1A funds that low income and working families can afford to participate in this program. The grant program for 1A doesn't pay completely for all preschool funding. So there's a piece where some parents may have to pay some of it. So we can make sure in City Council that we're targeting families that live in these communities like Whittier Elementary School, families that live in Whittier, that live in Cole, that want their children to go to Whittier Elementary Preschool, that they have the funding and the support, and that's something city government can do. And we can partner with nonprofits like Denver Foundation or other foundations to provide funding where families cannot afford to do it on their own. So that's one simple thing. Another thing is that the trash collection for DPS is done by DPS. DPS is strapped for cash. The city has the ability to take over trash collection. Something as simple as that, and save thousands, if not, well, tens of thousands of dollars for DPS on an annual basis.
Now, another issue that people have brought up a lot is crime and graffiti. What's your approach to those issues or issue, depending on how you see it?
Well, crime and graffiti, I think, sometimes go hand in hand. But I think you have to be involved in the community. You have to support what I support, community policing. I think if you have partnerships with the police and the police have partnerships with the community, it decreases crime. When I was president of the Whittier Neighborhood Association, we had a strong bond, a strong relationship with the District 2 officers, the community resource officers, and the neighborhood resource officers. And we had a drastic decrease in property damage and property theft within our neighborhoods and our communities, because I believe we knew our officers and we wanted to work collaboratively with them. I've been endorsed by the Police Protective Association because of my work with them, and also because I hold their feet to the fire. I chaired the Bias Policing Task Force and required that the police update their training, and worked with them to update their training, their cultural competency, making sure that the police understood when they contact someone with a disability the things they should do that's different from when they contact someone like you and I. And we went through that whole process. So I believe dealing with graffiti, dealing with any types of crime, you have to start with a collaborative approach with the police, but you also have to make sure there's transparency, accountability, and as a community activist, I've been involved in providing retraining for police officers, cultural competency classes for them to ensure that when they contact the community, that it is a positive experience for both sides.